Welcome back to Vette Vue. I'm your host Kyle McFarland. We will look at a 1963 Corvette Convertible this time. Originally the Stingray had a base 327 cubic inch engine and a 4-speed manual transmission. The 1963 Chevrolet Corvette was the result of more than 5 years of research, much of which was on the racetrack. The design was conceived by Bill Mitchell and Zora Arkus-Duntov from Mitchell's race car, the Stingray Racer. This particular Stingray is listed on eBay with a buy-it-now price of $52,900. Here are some of the details for this car, including the mileage. From the description, it states the following. This 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Convertible is a nice driver, but not a show car. The exterior is painted in the original ermine white, and the interior is black leather. The paint is okay, but not perfect. Under the hood is a period-correct 1964 327 cubic inch small block engine. Although there are fuel injection emblems on the front fenders, this car was not originally a Fuelie, but it is a 4-speed car. This 1963 Stingray includes a brand new black convertible top, as shown in this picture. This Corvette runs and drives great. Everything works as it should. The same owner has had this car for 25 years. It was only driven to a few car shows, it has never been wrecked, and it has a clean Texas title. One more thing. This Corvette is part of an estate sale, which includes a 1967 Mustang Fastback, a 1957 Thunderbird, and a 1955 Studebaker Speedster. Now, over to George Spankle for his commentary on originality.
Well, Kyle, we've got a very original-looking 63 Corvette here, but it seems a lot of things were changed on this car, probably a long time ago though.
Now, George, are those wheels the original knockoffs for 1963?
No, Kyle, they're not. They are aftermarket wheels. You can tell by the spinner, it's very different than the original spinner, as you can see here. Looking under the hood, we can see that the original engine is not there. Instead, we have a period correct, 1964 327. I will interpret this to mean that it's not a Corvette engine, but a 327 from something else, like an Impala station wagon.
Well, what's the difference?
At least some Corvette 327 engines were more heavy-duty than your typical passenger car engine. They had a high nickel content which made the block stronger and more resistant to wear.
Oh really?
Well, this engine could be put back to original specs, as this was a base engine car, judging from the tachometer. Obviously, we would need a lot of parts. The exhaust manifolds are found behind the seats. That's good, but we still need an air cleaner, ignition shielding, an intake manifold, and most likely, the proper Carter 4-barrel carburetor.
Now George, the fenders say fuel injection, but the car is not a Fuelie. Why do you think it's that way?
Well, Kyle, it's a good possibility that the front fenders or even the entire front clip came from another car. You can see the hood is painted white underneath, or it's bare fiberglass. An original 63 hood would have had a flat black coating underneath the hood, as you can see here. So that could be a replacement hood. Now, Kyle, a car like this likely got into a front-end collision a long time ago. Typically, to salvage the car, the engine would have been pulled out and put into something like a pickup truck, because it was difficult to get the front clip for this car back then. So later on, when Corvette values went up, somebody tried putting this thing back together using a front clip from 63 or a 64.
Oh really? That's a little hard to tell with this one. Now, what about the interior? Are those seats correct?
No, Kyle, they are not correct. From the trim tag, we see standard interior. That means black vinyl. The seat pattern is incorrect for 63 as well. It appears someone reupholstered the original seats using leather material, which looks like it may have come from a Ford Thunderbird, because they are also selling a 1957 Thunderbird which the seat pattern matches. Check out these 57 Thunderbird seats.
Yeah, George, I see what you're saying. The material looks like a possible match. Okay. Thanks, George. Now let's check the parts rack with Jamie Colavito.
Thanks, Kyle. First, let's start with the wheels. For this 1963 Corvette Convertible, it will need a set of either 1963 wheel covers and steel rims, like these, or the optional knockoff aluminum wheels. Next, under the hood, this Corvette will need a number of parts to at least have the appearance of a correct base engine Corvette 327. First, it will need the proper dual snorkel air cleaner, followed by a Carter 4-barrel carburetor. Also, a correct 1963 cast iron intake manifold will be needed. Next, this Stingray's original engine would have had steel-painted orange valve covers, like these. Also, this engine is missing all of its ignition shielding, so a complete set, like this, will be required to complete the engine restoration. The exhaust manifolds will need to be reinstalled with new head pipes. Last, but not least, a correct overflow cap like this one should be installed. Moving to the interior, the shifter is an aftermarket model, so a 1963 4-speed shifter like this one should be installed. Finally, this Corvette's seats have been replaced, so a set of proper black vinyl seats like these will be needed to complete the restoration. I've included links in the description below for all the parts which I have shown. By clicking on the links, you can go directly to a reputable Corvette parts distributor. Now, back over to you, Kyle.
Thanks again, Jamie. We will now discuss our thoughts regarding this 1963 Corvette. So George, what is your opinion on this car overall?
Well, Kyle, this looks like something that was pulled out of a barn and had a lot of work done to it a long time ago. In order to put it back to original, it's going to cost quite a few bucks.
So then how much do you think it's worth? And what would be the best approach with this car, seeing as how it has a lot of replaced parts?
Well, Kyle, I would say get the proper wheels on it, which will probably be wheel covers on steel rims. Try to transform the engine into what looks like the original engine and get the proper seats for the car. Then you'll have what looks like an all-original 63 convertible. It shouldn't cost too much to do that, about $6,000. At that point, this Vette could bring about 45 grand.
Now George, you don't think this car could do a little better than that?
Not really, because all original 63 convertibles bring on average about $60,000, sometimes less, so this 63 would not be all original, though it might look original after the work was completed, but still you would have mismatching numbers. And you've got to discount for that.
Now George, I've seen some 63s go for over $100,000. What would make this one worth something like that? Or could it ever be?
Kyle, those are split window coupes. They are in another category all by themselves. Right now, there is quite a big difference between values of a 63 coupe versus a 63 convertible. I'm seeing coupes going for, in some cases, 3 times the price of an all-original 63 convertible.
Okay, George. Thanks again. Now, a quick message from our friend, Jack Shinoda.
Hey, I'm Jack Shinoda. Thanks for watching. Now, if you like this content, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the subscribe button on your screen. It's free, and it will help us to produce more great videos for you to watch. Thank you for your support. Now back to Kyle.
Thanks, Jack. If you would like a Corvette featured on Vette Vue, send us an email at vettevue@yahoo.com. Please include your description and some pictures. If you have video, include the link to where we can find your Corvette. Well, there you have it. Once again, please subscribe to our channel for more analysis of Corvettes for sale. You can also contact us at vettevue@yahoo.com. Special thanks to George Spankel and Jamie Colavito for their contribution to this video. This is Kyle McFarland for Vette Vue. Hope to see you next time.